But she's like, stop right there. Don't do it.
She does point a gun at you.
She's threatening me, and I'm thinking, fuck you. And he's like, don't trust her. She's the one that made these monsters, which, you think, all right. And then I'm thinking, so fuck you.
She's trying to atone for her sins.
But that's forgetting the fact that they are just kids, isn't it? They're just little girls.
Well, that's exactly what he says. He says, you don't treat them like people. They're not people. They're too far gone.
You sound like a Scientologist.
No, but you've got no reason to doubt him at first, have you? Because he does save your life and stuff. This is like, this time I did save him. You know that though.
Yeah.
I've changed, but
anyway, more BioShock chat later on. Hello and welcome to the Special Moves podcast. My name's Mike Williams. That's Jake Kulkowski, and this is Liam McKelvey.
Hello.
Hey, gamers.
Talking about a bit of BioShock there because that's what Jake's been playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you playing it on? PlayStation.
PlayStation.
Because it's they gave away the
collection. I finished it and I'm on the second one now because I think I spoke about it a bit last.
You did, yeah.
Well, I'm on the second one now, so maybe if you want to hear my final thoughts, then feel free.
We'll have a chat in a bit.
Yeah. This podcast.
Looking forward to it.
What podcast number?
69.
Shouts out the comment section. They've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
Just going to be Valentine's Day as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very erotic.
Yeah, absolutely. So listen, I want to say, if you're listening to this in a bubble bath, that's kind of
that's actually a requirement.
Yeah, that's what we want. The warm glow of a lamp, preferably a salt one.
Yeah, I mean we've brought one here for you, but
bath.
bring your own as well.
And I hope you had a nice Valentine's Day.
Creepy.
That's that out the way. Yeah.
We've got some nice emails to read later on. News-wise, I feel like there's just a lot of console chat, and we've talked about next-gen console stuff. We talked about it quite a bit. We've actually had a few emails about it as well, but I think we should give it a breather for a little bit.
Right.
There's been what was the latest news that it's PS5's been pricier than Sony expected.
Yeah.
To build the thing.
Cost of goods is like $450 or something.
Which is because they're stuck with how much the components cost to put in the machine and stuff. And I kind of expected it. I mean, we've talked about it already. We're kind of expecting them to be a bit more expensive.
Yeah,
right?
I'm expecting £500 personally.
It could be.
More than £500 will be a bit of a weird one because then there is a real thing.
Well, Sony tried it with the PS3. That was £700 when it was announced, and look how that turned out for them initially.
Steam will get a lot more downloads that month if that's the case.
Well, you're massively pricing a lot of people out of the market, innit? And that's the whole point. Well, that's a key selling point of consoles is that it's accessible. You just fucking bang it into your telly, put it on. You don't have to pay a few £100 for it. Christmas present territory in terms of cost, isn't it?
Yeah. So we don't know. Every week there's a bit of consoles. You're right. Every week this year, it's because it's probably going to happen until we get the proper reveal, full fat reveal, and we're getting closer. Like we're only 7 months away from whatever, 8 months away from the console being out. But it has been quiet. It's like we're on the last cusp of the quietness. Square Enix spent an obscene amount of money marketing the new game, which I forgot the name of. Outriders, Outlanders.
Do you know what? Yeah,
Outsiders.
So you guys were talking quite a bit about this in the WhatsApp group, but I haven't actually seen a second of it. So this is an excellent excuse for you to tell me all about it.
All right. Well,
because I don't know what I know is kind of what I read in your WhatsApp. So I don't know much.
It makes sense for me to go in, and Liam, correct me if I'm wrong, because
you probably know more about it.
You're a confident talker, and Liam is good on the facts. So Liam can come in.
I've only watched one 10-minute video about it. So.
Okay.
Right. So my daytime job is I work with content creators full time, and by the very nature of that, I am completely immersed in that world.
Little brackets, by the way. It's raining quite badly at the moment. So
sorry.
Apologies if you can hear
we're doing this in the middle of a storm. That sounds really cool, doesn't it?
Because we're tough guys.
We haven't because it's Valentine's Day cranked up the ASMR sounds in the background. There's a real bit of rainfall happening. Okay, so
just need a bit of smooth
it is
jazz.
romantic, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, because of my day job, I am I live in the circle content creators, and I work all day with professional streamers and whatnot. Because of that, though, my social media feed is skewed with the people I follow for work and vice versa. So it's a lot of the time, if there's something big going on in the marketing sphere, it's dead obvious for me because I'm seeing all these different people who cover all these different games talking about the same game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I know that like Square Enix flew out about approximately 900. No, not 900. But it was about 300 people to see this game Outriders. Can't even remember the name.
Outriders.
Yeah.
I think it is Outriders.
Yeah, in Poland to go and watch this game.
Okay.
And everybody was like, "Oh, some stuff dropping soon." And then Square Enix have been teasing it. They showed off a little bit of trailerage, and then they said we're going to do a big reveal. Like it's like an hour-long show, like akin to the COD World War II thing, or CD Projekt Red's presentation. It was a big fat presentation. It wasn't an hour-long video with commentary. Like CD Projekt Red was like pretty much 45 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah.
This was not. There was a host. There was developers on, and then there would be a separate trailer just for the lore in the world. Then a separate trailer just for the RPG mechanics.
Bit more of an inside Xbox type thing going on.
Yeah, but truly commercial.
Yeah.
So during this hour-long presentation, embargo dropped for all the content creators to make their stuff. So I just watched like quite a lot of it. There was like 30, 40 videos within that same minute put up. And it's another one of those, like, I don't know how to tell you, like, it's another one of them games. If I said guess what type of game it would be.
Okay, let me do that then.
All right.
Well, I know a little bit, so it's going to be skewed, isn't it? But it's the live service, multiplayer, sort of with RPG elements. I actually don't know this. I'm going to go third person. Some alien sci-fi shit. I've seen a bit of the artwork, so that tells you, and it's going to come out. It's going to be a 6 out of 10. I'm going a bit further now. However,
Jesus
right? No, listen.
Yeah.
It's going to go on to maintain a strong and loyal core of fans who think this is actually quite a good game. 6 months down the line, Square Enix are going to say, "Hey, we're going to save Outriders. We're going to do it right. We're going to do it right."
Oh yeah.
And there's going to be Outriders next, and they're going to take out all the microtransactions.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
And
they're going to raise the level cap to 40. Okay.
Oh my God!
It's oddly specific.
Yeah, You just tweeted out Anthem's true story. I mean,
/ Destiny / The Division.
It's funny because it is a bit of a meme. Like it is a third person shared world co-op.
So, is it more? That's what I'm not sure about. More shooting or more chopping? What is it? Is it more of like a
more shooty
than choppy?
I don't know how to say this. I'm gonna have to just say it. The way that I can describe it to you, Mike, not the viewers at home, but specifically to you.
Yeah, Dad.
And it's not indicative of the quality of the game.
Yeah.
It looks like Anthem.
Yeah.
Without the flying.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Right. And full stop.
Well. The Anthem. When we got that nice sizzly trailer.
Yeah.
It's hard to gauge what the game's really going to be like.
Yeah. I mean, this is not to say that I'm bang up for this kind of game. That's the truth.
Well, I think that's the frustration.
The two games I've got on my PlayStation at the moment, The Division 2 and Destiny 2. Do you know what I mean? I'm well up for it.
This is the proper fight, the internal struggle. Yeah, I think that quite a lot of people are facing, and again, this is the big comment section moment. I hope.
Yeah.
I want to know if I'm wrong about this or not. From what I understand, a lot of people want this type of game.
Yeah.
Done right.
When it lands, it's good.
Done right.
Yeah.
And that's been shown in stuff like Destiny 2 or whatever, right? Well, you could argue that maybe not Destiny 2, but still, people who like it really like it and stuff like that. And obviously, some people know that because corporate have taken that and they've gone, right, we want an Avengers game.
Yeah.
What we do in the Avengers game? There's no shared open world co-op skewed, PvE, maybe a bit of PvP element, a lot of focus on endgame.
But it's what always happens. Like we were just talking about BioShock 2, like genuinely before we started recording the podcast, we were talking about BioShock 2, and that's how games were made when BioShock 2 came out. It was just a sequel that was, in my opinion, a bit unnecessary, with a bit of DLC bolted onto it, with a bit of multiplayer bolted onto it, because that's what everyone else. That's what was successful. That's what Call of Duty Modern Warfare had. It had a bit of a package. That's what Gears of War had. It had a bit of a different package of stuff. And then when there's a bit of a successful business model type thing that just works and clicks. Everyone else does the same thing. Battle Royale games,
it's true.
What makes money?
This is the thing that's kind of where it really like the time it takes to make a game and the time it takes the wind to change really shows, because obviously development has been going on for a while on stuff like the Division 2, Ghost Recon Wildlands, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which everyone's forgotten about entirely. Literally everybody. I can't even tell you when it launched. Probably November.
Bro. Last I heard of it, they put Terminators in it.
That says it all. So then there was Anthem. Anthem was before that, and then obviously Avengers has been in the works for a while. Again, kind of the same sort of thing. And this now, which are both Square Enix, both out relatively close to each other. But they've obviously been working on this for a very, very long time. In the time it's taken for them to do that, everyone else has come out with their version of it. Unfortunately for everybody, none of them have really landed, and it's kind of already fatigued people. So what I'm trying to say is this game has had such a marketing push. They've paid out the arse for people to come and see the game, trying to get people excited for it. All the gameplay online, take it with a pinch of salt, because they've flown people out to do this and that, which is just... I'm not saying they're making people excited about it, but you are tending to be a bit more excited about something if it's been connected to a great memory of flying to a country and experiencing Poland and having some nice drinks.
In terms of the influencers or whatever they would have sent, they've had a nice time. So
of course they're making a video on embargo. They're not going to make a video trashing it, even if they don't. They're more likely to do a video like, I'm not saying anything. It'll be Fence City.
It'll be at least neutral,
And unfortunately for Square Enix, I think a lot of the videos I've seen are mostly neutral.
Yeah.
Which to me is that no one's screaming and shouting about it, I think. And I don't think that that's a problem with the game. I think that it's an annoying thing that it's a sci-fi game. Or rather than people saying, oh, cool, everyone's like, oh, again, all right. I've been burnt in the past. It's an open world. It's a shared and world. Play with your friends. All right.
I think it's pretty true. The live service game is almost invariably has some sci-fi tint to it. Even the Division is pretty, as far as military games
it's got
go.
A bit of a John Carpenter Escape from New York.
Those grenades are a little bit too rolly. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. There's also Watch Dogs type fucking tech. Which is a weird thing.
What I'm trying to say is I don't think it's a problem with the game looks cool, but it's just surrounded by so much. We've seen this before, and not only that, we've seen this before, and when we have seen this before, it's been shit. So, everybody, from what I've seen, who's not a content creator who was flown out to Poland to cover the game, was like...
Why wasn't I flown down to Poland?
No, people with anime profile pictures on...
okay.
We're like, oh...
Users, gamers, true gamers.
Consumers, No, I just it's interesting because it's I looked at it. I sat there and watched a whole hour-long fucking thing. It's what I do, isn't it? And I was like, all right, it looked good until I saw the gameplay, and then I was like, it still looks cool.
Yeah.
But you can't help but wonder, is this a real the best of the best slice like Anthem? And unfortunately, the lethargy stuck in. If I haven't played these games in a while, so I forget how much I care about them at the time. And
It almost feels like now, maybe a few years ago, the Division comes out and it's an 8 out of 10, and I still feel, I'm going to get that. I'm really going to have a spin on that. Now, like you say, already the tide has shifted. But you can imagine this started development at a very fucking hot moment. It might have started development when Division 2 was just being put together or something. I don't know, but it could have been. The idea could have been seeded a long time ago, but already it feels like a game of its era, which is about 2 years ago. Which somehow already feels,
And the thing is as well, so this year alone, is Avengers out this year? It is, isn't it? Or
September,
Yeah, so we got Avengers, this game, and then
Division expansion.
Oh, that's really soon, isn't it? That's 2 weeks away.
Yeah, it's very soon.
But we got, around that same period, Avengers, Outriders.
You've got to imagine there'll be some Destiny shit.
Godfall, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So these are 3 games that will demand all your time.
Yeah.
They're all, and that's they're within literally 60 days of each of it.
And by nature of what they are, it's like MMOs. If you come out with a new MMO, it doesn't matter that World of Warcraft came out in 2004. You're still competing with World of Warcraft.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You've still got the embedded fan base. If Destiny comes out with like a good expansion,
you're still competing with that.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you're going to have less money to play with, realistically, because there's a high chance, unless you're PC Master Race, you've bought a new console around that time.
Yeah.
So you're probably going to get one of these games. So I guess maybe everyone's fighting for that. But it just seems like already I'm thinking, like this podcast in like 9 months, we would have played probably all of them, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's seeing them go to that much effort and spend that much money on this big blowout campaign just for everybody to meet it with a little bit of a. Is a bit of a shame because the game could have rocked, but like no one believes it. Yeah. Everyone's got this "I believe it when I see it" attitude because there's been a bad roll of them.
And that's sort of the point that I started earlier but didn't finish. Right, so the game when an idea is still fairly fresh, 7 out of 10 even can feel very appealing. You still feel I'll give it a go, right? Yeah. But now I feel like this has got to be like a 9 or a 10, and everyone has to be telling me that it's one of the best games of the year for me to go, okay then, I'll actually try it, And it's really funny how that can change in like a year or two, really.
Yeah.
It's the context is everything with it, isn't it? Like how timely is a game coming out, and like it could be good. I hope it's good. I hope it's really good.
That's the thing. Like I would kill for a game like this to be good, and maybe they'll do it. Square Enix make good games,
The closest it's come for us, I think, is Destiny 2, isn't it? Just in terms of how much we played it and
stuck around in the end game, which is the main complaint with these games,
and how it actually worked as intended by Bungie. I guess like we played it exactly how I guess they want you to play if you're casual.
Tuesday night when
everything reset,
server resets and things like that. And
so we were like the casual Farmville, checking in,
find see what loot he's got on offer.
Absolutely, and
having a nice time.
Yeah, and so that was the opinion of 3 people that didn't go to see Outriders, but
we weren't flown to Poland.
We didn't need to, though, did we? Because that's it. But that's not what you think of it as well. I've got a feeling that. A lot of people's going to have very similar kind of opinion of like looks or whatever, but I wonder how much of it is the game and how much of it is the games that came before it. That's kind of what my point is here. I think that's interesting that a game by itself could have been quite cool, but it has to really like defy expectations now.
Definitely,
that's not enough.
I agree. That's what I feel as well. I'm just going to do an email before we talk about what we've been actually playing this week. Okay. This is pretty cool because the game in question is just a bit surprising, isn't it? And I just thought it was worth checking in an email. It's quite nice. Right, if you want to send us an email, the address is dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. You can send us anything as proven by the following email. Hi, Mike, Jake, and Liam.
Hi.
I'm sure this person means Dear Special Moves, but that's okay. I've been smashing out Terminator Resistance, and I am currently 2 trophies away from getting the platinum. While it's a bit rough and the voice acting is a little flat, I am enjoying the hell out of it, even with its short length. Now I can't decide what to move on to next. It's a toss-up between Control and Resident Evil 2, the remake. Any chance you can steer me in the right direction? That's from Wade Ford from Maryborough in Victoria, Australia.
Nice one, Wade.
What an email.
Is this the Christian Bale era Terminator game?
Yeah, so post Skynet.
It was fucking good, this.
I've heard about this, it's got a bit of a cult following online.
It's good. I remember playing it at the time.
It's a bit of an immersive sim type game. It's
Very
got Bethesda lock picking. It's got skill tree.
If this is the game I'm thinking of, and it's like 6 hours long or something like that. It was a bit of a Peter Jackson's King Kong.
No, you're thinking of Terminator Salvation on the 360 PS3.
Yeah, I am.
This came out quite recently. Terminator Resistance.
You fool.
I played that because you just played through the game and got 1,000 achievement points.
King Kong.
I actually knew nothing of this game, and I gave it a quick Google when I read the email.
It's a bit initially. Of a...
Well, let me tell you the Metacritic score.
48.
59.
Oh. Yeah.
So
I remember, it's weird. I think it was on Reddit I saw this. It was like a lot of people, like an appreciation thread almost.
I love it.
Classic.
I love it.
Classic.
Yeah.
It's a bit of like,
Gamers
do you remember
rise
those
up,
games on the PS2? They were like obviously quite a B tier but they were still quite fun anyway.
Yeah.
I think this is like one of them, but for the modern era.
It knew itself enough.
I don't think people were expecting much out of it, because it came from the people who made the Rambo game.
Yeah.
That like on-rail shooter thing that was famously quite shocking.
Kind of aggressively hated, I would say. That
game, famously shocking, aggressively hated. Depends who you ask.
But Wade Ford in Australia is really digging.
I've heard a lot of people say it's actually quite an underrated game, to be honest, but...
I mean, it's not. I was expecting maybe a little bit of Liam saying I tried it or I played it a little bit.
But I remember watching a bit of gameplay after seeing quite a few people, like singing its praises.
Yeah,
and it doesn't look half bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if I will play it myself, but I can see what people get enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, what a shout though, Terminator.
That's a good
Terminator
one. A niche game like that is quite funny.
But he wanted to know if he should then go on to. It's going to be a fucking eye-opening... Control or
Resident
Evil. That's a tough choice, that.
Either way, it's going to be a marked step up in general quality.
I'm going to say go Control, because it's got sort of the sci-fi themes going on.
Okay.
So you're carrying on from the Terminator sci-fi.
And it is quite short.
Yeah.
Then again...
It's about 15 hours if you do all the side quests.
Resident Evil's quite short. And Resident Evil 3.
Well, Control is a nice middle ground, because it's got all the sci-fi stuff, Terminator connection.
But
then it's also got quite a bit of horror in it, leading into Resident Evil. So it's a nice middle ground.
It's a segue game.
So Liam's saying, why not both, but in the order of Control and then Resident Evil?
I mean, that's the correct answer. Play both. That's what I was going to say.
And then follow Resident Evil 2 up by that time with Resident Evil 3, which will be out by then.
Because Control's got a lot of like paranormal stuff going on. But then it's got like telekinetic sci-fi powers and stuff.
I haven't played Control, but I've watched the entire thing played through on Twitch, yeah?
Have you seen the little puppet show in it?
Yes.
Fucking terrifying.
This is what I mean, right? The SCP, like the redacted and the weird holograms that are creepier than they're supposed to be. I feel like I've played it now by watching the whole thing, and it's good. The graphics are good as well. I don't know if it's
gorgeous.
I think it's being played on PS4 when I was watching it, but it's a good looking game. Then again, so is Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, you can't go wrong, can you? You can't go wrong.
Look up, if you've not seen it, look up the like puppet show and Control. It's
apart
terrifying.
from you wait until you play it.
You play it and experience it.
I'm gonna play it. I bought it for my dad for Christmas actually, but
I love
lend
Control.
it off him, innit?
It's great.
Yeah, I do want to play it. I do want to play it. But there you go. That email for me is testament that we've got fucking good listeners. That's good. That's good.
Playing 59 on Metacritic. Nice one, guys.
Yeah, that's what taste is. You can agree. Everyone can go God of War. Yeah, great game.
Speaking of emails,
that's taste. That's real taste.
We've had loads of emails this week that we don't normally get on our other Special Moves account of just people peddling their games, their indie games. Yeah. So if you're listening to this somehow, why? How have you done this? I don't know if our email's listed somewhere, but we've had 6 keys sent to us for I don't know, One Finger Death Punch 2. I might as well just say it. One Finger Death Punch 2 on Switch. Yeah. It's got good reviews and that, but I don't know. Please.
Is this like a Ringo Starr? I'm warning you with peace and love. Stop sending us your games.
Where are you finding that? And why are you sending us your games unsolicited? I don't know. It's pretty annoying. Just at least speak to us first. Don't just send us your fucking stuff. But also,
nice email, lots of exclamation marks. Ask us how we are.
Yeah, innit?
Engage.
Yeah,
and then,
just stop sending us your shit. Unless it's good, so in which case, please continue.
I'm actually unaware of this. I've not checked the other account.
We're getting sent a lot. It's because we cover indie games. I think the Stone Shard thing might have been the case.
Stone Shard?
Yeah, it's the game that I spoke about last week.
Top seller.
So you think someone's picked up on the fact that we
have covered a very topical indie game?
Okay.
Because I'm surprised. Since the podcast, told you, didn't I? Fucking told you. It looks like a proper shit game, and it's boomed on Steam after the podcast.
Okay. If you're listening to this and you're planning on sending us an unsolicited email with including a key for a game that you're doing a marketing for, can you just tell us how and why you found us? That'd be cool.
Just make an effort, isn't it? Cheers. But yeah, Stone. So last week I spoke about Stone Shard and said it's got this real. It's got something about it.
Yeah.
But it's very rough on the edges. It's fucking top of Steam this week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Boom.
That's good.
Still got it.
Do you know what else is weird? We were talking about The Division.
That's the weirdest thing.
Expansion.
That's weird though, isn't it?
Last week's podcast,
I'm actually a bit worried.
Was really good because we were well ahead of it on all fronts.
Yeah,
predicting the
worryingly ahead of it.
If they
I feel to the point where I feel like, what did I see in that week to make me think what had been planted on the internet to make me go, Oh, the Division.
Well, you bought it just before it dropped down to fucking $3. Mm-hmm. Did you see that?
I didn't buy it this week. I bought it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that and that was after. But after you mentioned the Division 2, it dropped in price to $3.
Yeah, I'm a powerful man.
Yeah. Listen, guys, all I'm saying is, if Sony do announce a new console and it's a PlayStation Vita 2, right? And Liam's been preceding it for like 3 weeks.
It's just a shine.
I swear.
It could happen with the Division 3 as a launch title. It could happen. It could happen.
They want a handheld
Thronebreaker's going to become a...
They go in the Switch route.
Yeah, so
hybrid console.
Yeah.
So that's it, man. Like we've been ahead of the game.
Yeah, that is weird. So
portable.
I have been playing a bit of Division 2 actually this week. I'm really glad about... So the new expansion that they've kind of announced is that it's going back to New York, which is
exactly what
excellent
you were saying
news.
last week.
But my point last week really was, and it's kind of touches on what we were talking about live games and stuff earlier, but you don't... And Ubisoft later went on to say they acknowledged that sequels for live games don't work. And the Division, they looked at the Division 2 as kind of a bit of a failure because it just didn't have the same numbers, whereas they could have just kept working on the Division 1, kept growing that, more expansions, more season passes and stuff, and there's, that could have been perhaps a more successful route. But
yeah, the MMO way.
Yeah, and that, Rainbow Six Siege works great for that. I think there's quite a few examples by now of games.
For Honor's still going quite strong.
Absolutely, and that, and I doubt now you'll actually ever see a For Honor 2. Because you'll just see big game-changing expansions for Honor 1, that's it, Ubisoft game. So, I played a bit of Division 2. It's good. It's finally clicked for me. I'm still enjoying it. It wasn't just like a flash in the pan. I started when from last week where I was like, oh yes, finally. Mm-hmm. I'm still playing it like a week later, which I feel like that's good. That's to me a successful. I now don't feel bad about the fact that I bought Division 2 digitally and then barely played it. Yeah. I'm into it. So that's
to avoid eBay. So
yeah. Well, it's digital, isn't it? Locked in.
Until you see close.
I bet you it would have gone though. Yeah. But it's good. It's good to have players, and the game's got a cool kind of like agent in need of backup system. So when you're like walking around, you'll get like a notification saying, "Oh, someone is trying to do a fucking dungeon, whatever they're called." Division 2.
Raid?
They have got raids, but that's the end game.
Yeah,
stuff.
they're just
missions.
They're just in a building and they're shooting some guys in hoodies.
And they need someone else to
they need some help.
Them with.
Yeah, and then so you get agent need a backup, so you can respond and you can help them out, and then there's like a encouragement system, incentive system tied to that. Or something. Yeah, it's cool. But it makes the city feel like there's shit going on, and which is quite cool, and the multiplayer works really well in that sense, which is a bit different to like something like Destiny where you choose where you're going to go, and you're like, it's a bit more like I'm going to do this activity now, whereas Division, you don't really. It's not always like
there's a lot of meandering.
Things will pull you from in different directions, which is ace. Like I like that about it. So that's a good game. What I've also been playing is Rugby 20.
Nice.
I've played it a lot, right?
Have you?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Rugby games, like I've had my eye on this for a while, but this is a game that Jake's working on. So
I launch about 4 games a week, just so everybody knows. Yeah. So it doesn't really, it's not like one that I've been pushing. I was just like, oh yeah, I've got a code for this if you want it.
Yeah.
You said yeah,
which I did want. So
I didn't even know it was out. Right, and I was like, I'll have a look. Oh, yeah, I've got a code.
So I actually don't know what the reviews are like for it, but I'm pretty sure they'll be bad. But it's, it's really weird, okay? Because it's actually oddly playable, right? And I've been playing it with Laura a lot, and we've both been enjoying it, but there is it's very difficult to recommend.
Yeah.
Because of the many flaws that are within,
sounds about right.
When I'm sure one day it'll be cheap, and if you're absolutely desperate for a rugby game, it might be worth it. But it's just kind of more of the same, like very stagnant. It just feels like it feels like a game. If you'd have just told me this is Rugby 2016, I'd have gone, yes.
Yeah,
I'm sure it is.
The 20 seems a bit redundant.
Yeah. Apart from the fact it's got up to date, players and teams and shit like that.
Yeah.
It is an odd one because rugby is a difficult game to make a game out of, difficult sport to make a game out of. Mm-hmm. But you can see that they have got appreciation for like the rules and the nuances and stuff, but sometimes it just doesn't. It just does not work. It just doesn't follow the rules of the game.
Yeah.
Which is very, a really straightforward example I can give you of where the game fails. Right. In rugby, the referee can play advantage if the other team does something wrong. They can. If one team does something wrong, the other team can continue to play if they've got the ball to play advantage, and they'll know that they can play for maybe 30 seconds, a minute, and they'll know they're safe. If they lose the ball or make a mistake, they've got a penalty to fall back on, right?
I was about to look at the meta score. Sorry, right?
Oh, okay, it's got to be bad, right? It's
49.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So but the referee in this game just says advantage. And then if you go forward, if you make any more, and rugby is a game of territory, so if you gain territory, that's good.
Yeah.
If you gain any territory, basically, if you gain a single metre, the referee goes advantage over, which is fucking bollocks. Because it's when you're playing when you know how an actual rugby match is meant to play out and what advantages you should have as a team.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't happen when you're playing the game. It's frustrating, but it's quite. Like I said, it's weirdly playable.
I think perhaps you're just blinded by your love for the big game. You wouldn't
buy it if you weren't blinded by your love for the big game. Do you know what I mean?
True that.
There's no chance that you're fucking picking this up unless you love rugby.
I know what you mean. There's I haven't played it, obviously, but I remember another game that I was working on was Cricket 19.
Right.
Back in 19.
Okay.
And I went on a press tour with that, and there was loads of people there, journalists playing it and whatnot. And the people that were really into it were like the people that really like cricket.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it looked old, looked like it could have been a Wii game kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they were blinded by their love of cricket.
Yeah.
As I think anyway.
That's
it.
And it feels like, I'm sure, again, this is another guess, but I'm sure that in terms of giving keys out and that, this would have been more heavily weighted towards magazines and websites that just do rugby.
Possibly divulge that information.
That just talk about rugby rather than games. Because if you compare it to FIFA or PES or something, it's comically
almost
bad.
The equivalent of a video game adaptation film, where unless you're entrenched in this world already, as a film, as a standalone thing, if you were reviewing it like a film, you'd be like, what is this?
Yeah.
Unless you understood, and then then. So
it's cool in the sense like they've tried stuff, but they just haven't. There's no refinement there. There's just buttons all over the screen. If you're playing it 2-player as well, there's basically the entire controller is out there on the field saying R1 pass this way, L1 pass this way, R1 and L1 pass backwards, X pick it up, left analog stick. Fucking go for a run, mate. That's all on the fucking screen, It's like just playing a big QuickTime event or something. But having said that, a bit of context, button control stuff on the screen is probably a good idea for a game like rugby.
Yeah.
Like The Witcher, what's the X, circle and square and triangle doing at this very second is probably a good idea, but the way it's implemented isn't good, is what I'm saying. So it's annoying because it's yet another game where you think we can't be too far away from a fucking good rugby game now. But at the same time, was the last
rugby game before this one?
I've got no idea. I think it's Rugby 18 or something. The big one last gen was Jonah Lomew's Rugby Challenge 1 and 2, which were like, all right, they were like 6 out of 10. They weren't like hilariously bad. They were okay. There was a bit of meaty, it felt good to tackle players and stuff like that. But
is NFL complicated?
Yeah.
So you think they make good NFL games though, right? So it could happen. Basically, it's not too much of a far cry for one day.
The difference in a sport is rugby is a lot more scattered in terms of where things. The NFL has got a real order to it. NFL's got a real all right, you got tackled, stop, let's start again. All the players line up, and there's a neatness to it. And you can I'm sure you can program the AI of the players a lot easier because you just and they've all got really clear roles. Just tackle that guy, run in a straight line. Rugby's really, really complicated by comparison. I think. I think it's probably the most difficult sport there is to
video game.
Fucking video game earth, isn't it? Yeah. I guess maybe cricket. I don't know. I don't know enough about cricket. But
wow.
Anyway, I'm sure there's 6 people who like rugby listen to this. We got some Australian and Kiwi listeners and stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Cheers, mate.
I don't know, do I? No. Only time I've ever seen anyone leave a rugby comment is if like Wales have lost and they're taking a piss out of you, which is an attack, which is a type of comment we could probably do without, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Fuck you.
So you've been playing
those people. I've been playing that, and I've been, like I said, a bit of Division. You've been playing a bit of BioShock. So I finished BioShock 1. I'll go for it quickly. And I finished BioShock 1. I liked it more than I did the first time I bit it. BioShock 2 I've started, which I don't really know anything about. It's one of those games where it's kind of like, oh yeah, it was good. It's like Mass Effect 1. Yeah, it was good. But then someone's got a strong feeling about 2 or 3. Yeah, one in the trilogy stands out more than the other, so you end up kind of overlooking.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So for BioShock... Yeah, everyone's got a feeling about BioShock 1 or Infinite, and 2, everyone seems to think it served its purpose and it did it well, but that's it. No one's going, oh, I can't believe it when this happens. So I don't know, actually, what happens in the game. So I'm playing through it, and I was surprised to find out that you start off as a big daddy. I was surprised to find out that, it's not Andrew Ryan, and there's all this, there's a big sister, whatever, there's whatever it's called. There's different bits and bobs to it. The game looks sharper. It's not as all the items just weirdly flash like a PlayStation 1 item pickup in Broken Sword or some shit. I don't know. But it doesn't do that in this one. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And I've been playing, what else? A bit more Stone Shard. I downloaded Vulcan, which looks massive. You would have probably seen that. It's an ARPG that is just done numbers out of nowhere. I saw it on Keymailer, and it was one of them ones. It's got a name, it's kind of Scandi name, Eastern European devs. It wants to be brutal, it wants to be hardcore, it wants to be this, it wants to be that, super realistic. You're like, alright. Happened with Stone Shard, didn't it? I took a gamble on it. Anyway, Welcome was one that I looked at it. I saw ARPG Diablo-esque thing, so I was like, it's not really my thing. I don't know. So I didn't even apply for a key for it or anything. I don't know how clear we are about what Keymailer. In case you don't know what Keymailer is, it's a place you can go if you make stuff on YouTube or whatever, and you can apply for the game. So yeah. Anyway, it turns out it's everywhere. It's it looks quite cool. Yeah. So
is it the next Tarkov?
It looks like it could be for a week. It's more like this other one. What's it called?
I know the type.
Path of Exile.
Right.
That's the thing. I mean,
in terms of Twitch players taking it up.
Well, it has boomed. It has really, really, really boomed. So yeah, I've been keeping an eye on that, and I think I'll play that this week. But yeah, it's been quite quiet. I've been playing loads of 2 Point Hospital on consoles, but the embargo isn't until Friday, so
yeah,
I won't talk about that. But that's what I've really been doing.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. But yeah, man. So BioShock 2. More on that next week when I've hopefully finished it.
Yeah, and a bit of 2 Point because I've played a little bit of that, but not really because Laura's been playing it. But I'll have some opinions.
That's quite interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, embargoes, respecting them, and all that. Mm-hmm. Liam, you played anything?
I played 2 games this week. The Vita keeps on giving.
Definitely no embargoes here. Then
definitely no embargoes.
It's its own segment at this point.
And I'll bring back the old joke: Vita means life, which everyone kept saying as it spectacularly died.
Yeah.
So I played a game on it called Freedom Wars, which is an action RPG, bit Monster Hunter-like. And this was sort of the last hurrah for the PlayStation Vita.
Yeah.
It's made by Sony, first party game, and they were they were pushing this game as this is the big one. This is the big AAA game for the Vita. And they were promising lots of content, online multiplayer, continuous updates, best looking Vita game and all that.
Yeah.
They got the best looking Vita game part, right?
Yeah.
It does look very sharp on the Vita. Problem is, the game itself is just kind of like every other Monster Hunter clone, really. It's just got a sci-fi theme. So, the central premise of the game is it's like a dystopian future, and the last remaining people of humanity live in big colonies called panopticons. But because resources are so scarce in the world, everyone fights over them. And to be a member of society, you have to work off a 1 million year prison sentence. and you have to contribute to your panopticon, and you can pick which one you want to join at the beginning of the game.
Okay.
And it's just like you've got to sort of prove yourself as like a valuable person to this like society because they don't have time for time wasters.
Panopticon is a very mathematical and inaccessible word to describe something as important as a city.
I think Panopticon is
it's like the prison system.
A famous Italian-made prison system where it would be an entire prison would be in a circle
and the central tower
with a guard tower in the middle, but it would have like frosted glass.
So a very mathematical and technical kind of word.
But because of its prison-like roots, I guess that's what they're going for. Forget people that struggle to say.
Searched words related to prison, and
I actually had to study the philosophy of this when I was in uni.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because it's kind of the CCTV thing where you're not being monitored all the time, but the chance you're being monitored all the time kind of tells you to be good.
It makes you behave.
One guard can't guard
constant
200 people.
You're being watched.
So
it's like you want to be on your best behaviour at all times.
And does it have that element in it?
Yeah. So you have to buy permits in the game to do so. Like you can't talk
to Freedom Wars. I can see where this is
so you're
going.
fighting for your freedom, obviously.
Yeah.
Like you have to, if you run away if you like sprint around too much, you get fined, and they put they put years on your prison sentence.
Yeah, that's actually cool.
Sorry, they put years on your 1,000,000-year prison sentence.
No running, like you're in a pool.
So
that's 1,000,003.
There's like one bit in the game, quite near the beginning of the game, where they're like, it's like you do a few missions. It's like, would you like to rest? So you go, yes. It says.
Yeah.
You don't. It's like you don't have the permission to recline 20 years and stuff like that. But eventually, after you've done like the first chapter, you can get rid of all that shit. It's just like to sell the lore of the world, I guess. But then the gameplay is it's like Monster Hunter. You can choose. Do you want to play ranged melee?
Yeah.
Do you want to go like heavy melee, heavy ranged, and all that? And so
just make sure you got permission, man.
Just make sure you got permission. So it's a pretty bog standard action RPG.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the big like last hurrah that Sony made it out to be for the Vita.
Yeah.
'Cause it came out in Japan quite a few months before it came out in Europe and North America.
Okay.
And Japanese players were saying like it's just your run of the mill Monster Hunter clone.
Yeah.
And then when it came out to North America and Europe, last minute they cancelled the physical release in Europe, so you could only get it digitally.
Sweet.
So that was like, but it wasn't going to save the Vita this game, and it was an alright game, apart from the final boss, which is one of the most infuriating final bosses I've gone against in years. But I managed to beat it, and I was so done with the game, skipped all the cutscenes at the end and credits, I just wanted to be done with it.
Broke your Vita and ate it.
Yeah, the last hurrah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's Liam out.
But it's fine.
There can't be many Vita games left now, surely.
No, there isn't really. I think we've got like 2 left.
We're slowly building the most comprehensive Vita review channel of all time.
Exactly.
I should start a spin-off channel.
Yeah,
like
definitely,
Vitality.
Yeah, but the other game I did play is a new game on the Switch.
Which is?
It's a dungeon crawling RPG called Snack World: The Dungeon Crawl
Gold
Gold Edition.
Okay.
And it's a game made by Level 5, the guys who made Ni no Kuni and Dark Cloud. And Yokai Watch, yeah. And it's more similar to a game like Dark Cloud than it is Ni no Kuni, as you have a town and you go into dungeons and you get better gear, better items, and you slowly work your way through the story. And it's quite fun, but the thing is, it's got a very cutesy art style to it, like very Saturday morning cartoon, but my god, the sense of humour is adult as anything.
Okay.
It's full. You don't play this game with your kids because it's full of sexual innuendos.
Okay.
It's even got a Donald Trump reference in it.
Right.
And
what? I remember Liam was telling me about the coffee thief.
Yeah. The
bar.
cafe the dungeon crawlers go to is called the Coffee VV Cafe.
So,
like that famous tweet he did.
Sexual innuendo and Donald Trump jokes through the lens of a level 5 Nintendo RPG that's a bit like Dark Cloud.
Yeah. Like it's like combat is a bit Zelda-ish.
Okay.
Except it's got the roguelike mechanics where your weapons can break. They don't break permanently though.
Okay.
You have to like swap through weapons and let them regenerate.
Cycle them, sort of thing.
Yeah, so it stops you just like getting one powerful weapon and spamming it through the entire dungeon.
Oh, that would be a good idea for Breath of the Wild, maybe.
So and you just swap through and it will regenerate. It doesn't take long to regenerate, like a minute if you break it and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but Zelda-like combat, I guess. very fun. Just like it reminds me of games that were on like the PSP, you know, like these very sort of like B tier RPGs that were all dungeon crawlers for some reason.
Yeah,
I think this was originally a 3DS game. Just took ages to localize it, so they put it on the Switch instead. But
so is it new or is it
brand new? Yeah. So it's like an enhanced edition of the 3DS one, but it came out of nowhere. It came out on Friday. And like we didn't even have it in new releases or anything.
No, I didn't know.
Completely, I saw it just because
I saw it somehow, but I don't know if it was in coming soon, like or in the Nintendo news or something.
I saw it because I got an email from I think it was Simply Games with like here's our coming releases for the week.
Yeah.
And I just clicked on it, looked at some gameplay, and I was like level 5, and I was like I'll take a chance on it, you know.
Yeah.
And I've played it for about 5 hours, and I've been having a bit of fun.
Very cool.
It, you know?
That's good.
Just. Don't play it with your kids.
More hours than you've put in Dragon Quest. So, again, I'm using that as the metric now.
I will finish Dragon Quest eventually.
Yeah.
I will do it. I promise.
There's a Dragon Quest thing on Netflix, you know.
Yeah.
Based on Dragon Quest 5. They just surprise announced
Yeah,
it.
it's meant to be quite bad.
It launched on like a Wednesday as well. Netflix don't put stuff out on a Wednesday. It's weird. Anyway.
Shall we do an email before?
Yeah, do
we
a
do new games?
email. Yeah.
This one's from Sanjay Jayavel, who says, "Dear Special Moves, I love your podcast and have been following you guys ever since the Pretty Good Gaming days. What do you guys feel about cloud gaming at the moment? Do you think you would opt for it if PlayStation or Xbox made their features and offerings more robust? I think PlayStation exclusives combined with Microsoft cloud tech would be a great combination, but I guess it will never happen. Have a great day, Sanjay."
Has this been in his outbox since 2007?
No, he actually asked a few questions, but we kind of, just
cloud
topics that
gaming
we already
was
touched
like
on.
the hot shit when they were first making like Crackdown 3.
It's always there, isn't it?
50 years
I remember
like a
trying
cloud.
on live.
Like a cloud,
Yeah.
especially
Overcast.
with a storm.
Yeah.
I tried on live
I mean,
when it was a thing.
it's still. I wouldn't say it was a turn off, but it's just something that I would just if I was watching a 20-minute PlayStation 5 reveal, okay, half an hour. Let's say it's a half an hour PlayStation 5 reveal.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting here and I'm watching all the fucking executives and that, and they're like, next up, I want to welcome our director of future fucking tech,
Jake Lukowski.
Chance Davis.
Chance Teller. Yeah.
Who comes out and he's like, "Listen, I'm going to tell you about cloud gaming."
Yeah.
I would just phase out. It's just not. It's the kind of bit in a presentation where I really don't care. You know?
Anyone outside of California doesn't care.
I think, and that's the big obstacle in the way, really.
I'm not a fan of cloud gaming. I've tried it. On live. It was fine, but that was back in like 2010 when I tried that. So I have more discerning taste now.
Yeah.
But it's just like I like just with like internet infrastructure around here, especially where we are. It's not great.
Yeah.
It's not like I remember when Google brought out that Stadia like test your connection thing.
Yeah.
It immediately gave me a yellow saying like you can do 1080. I was like, but my PS4 and whatever else can do that. Why would I just not play that instead?
Yeah, that's ultimately the thing. It's like coming out with, fucking peripherals or something. They're like, oh, you can play this thing on the, I don't know. I can't think of an example at the moment. But if it's like a PC peripheral that is giving you another way of playing it, all right, fine. Okay, perfect example. Okay, PlayStation controller, got it in my hand here if you're watching, right? Little touchpad here.
Yeah.
Why? Does that ever get used? No. It was a launch gimmick, right?
Yeah, it was used in like 2 launch games.
Yeah, but is it better than a button? No. The only way it gets used at the moment is, in fact, the button feature.
Normally it's to bring up a map.
Yeah.
That's it, isn't it?
And it's basically just a big fucking button. Because buttons are great and they work, right? And it's the same thing. Like Liam just said, is it better than what I have at the moment without it? No. So why, that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need to make it better than the current setup, the current technology.
The only other thing I don't like about cloud gaming is I collect games quite a bit, and I'm a big fan of owning physical games.
Yeah.
I don't like the whole thing of I'm paying for something I can't even download it to my computer.
Yeah.
It's just sat on a server somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that idea.
Yeah, paying for access is like...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, paying it for the games on top of paying for the fee is shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you're doing the Netflix model, fine. I think the reason it's kind of come up in conversation a bit more recently is that Nvidia announced and shown off GeForce Now.
Oh, yeah.
And
Stadia,
which I've got some feelings on, but I'm saving up for when I finish the game. What I will tell you though is I've got a Stadia. I've been playing it the past week or so, and I work at home, yeah. And when I work at home and the kids are in school or whatever, and my wife's in work and no one else is using the internet in the house, okay, understandable, makes total sense. I play in it, it runs fine. But then I've got like a little laptop for work. It's just got like onboard graphic card, it's just like a little like notepad thing, yeah. So I got that downstairs. So then downstairs, I'm with the family. Ellie put something on Netflix. I don't want to watch it. And then I think, I play Runeterra for a bit. Then I think, I'll plug in. I'll get my PlayStation controller from over that side of the room and I'll plug this in. But no, just because she's watching Netflix, my Stadia runs so slow.
Yeah.
And it's like, because, in theory, that could have almost worked. But I'm doing a bit of traveling.
But that's the point. It's just not there yet, is it? And you got a decent connection, haven't you? You haven't got a shit connection, have you? And
no,
I think
it's all right.
And
for around here,
that's the thing though. Yeah. It isn't. I think that's a good. Yeah. I think you would argue kind of common connection for like anywhere. Do you know what I mean? Like
pretty average.
You would want that wherever you went. If you went to live anywhere in the world and you could have, I can't remember exactly what you said your connection is, but it seems like just reasonable, good. That's what I want. That's what an ideal one would be, and it's not ridiculous. Like
I can do 4K on Netflix quite happily.
It has the capacity to do that, but it still isn't good enough to have like that multi. Everyone is all the watching that happens in my house is done via my internet connection. So I'm streaming everything. I haven't got an aerial. Mm-hmm. I haven't got a satellite dish on my house. So how the hell am I meant to have
it's all internet based now.
Yeah, and it's the delay, like the input, milliseconds of lag that is what bothers me the most about it.
I'm away for 7 days next week. Yeah, not this week coming up, but the one after.
Yeah,
and I'll have my laptop with me for work. I'm gonna bring my Xbox controller. Because I'm going to be in America where, like, I don't know what the internet's like there. And I'll test it. Yeah. And if I can get a bit of, like, Destiny 2 in a hotel room on my shitty laptop, then I'll be happy. And then I'll have a stronger feeling how I feel about it. Because I would have used it, like, in a real way it's supposed to be used.
And that is, at that point, then it becomes better than the PlayStation that you got on your TV. Because you can use it on any screen, wherever you are. Or
that's what I mean. So this is a real test where I can actually use Stadia. It'll be the first time I've done that, and I'll have a stronger feeling about it then, because I won't have time to be snobby about it because it's either that I'll be playing it a bit laggy or not at all. Yeah.
Because in theory it's better, isn't it? At the moment, on paper, it's
better,
but it's not in.
If that works on paper, if I can plug my Xbox controller into my shitty laptop right now and play. I don't know, but the thing is about xCloud, the new Microsoft one that I like. That's exactly the same as Stadia. But with Game Pass.
Yeah.
Which is good. That is more like it in terms of
now we're cooking.
How much money? What can I get for my money? That's a lot better, isn't it?
100%. If I could play my bloody Game Pass in a hotel room, man, we're flying.
Yeah.
But we probably won't be able to until 2025. Thank you for the email, though. Anyway.
Yep. I hope that we discussed that topic in a manner that. Please you, Sanjay. Yeah. If you've got any more emails, send them into dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. We'll have a read, answer your questions. Those, by the way, were perfect in terms of email length.
Oh my God.
I had to do a bit of editing, but they had good little tight paragraphs in there. So
Ahmed from Mississippi getting in their neck again.
What?
# free Ahmed.
Remember yeah. Hey, no, that was my fault. Yeah, so last week I read an email that I hadn't edited. I'd edited these two as well. No, it's because
the comment section saying.
Hey, come on, man!
Someone called him a peasant. For fuck's sake, leave the guy alone.
I got home right. Like 5 minutes later, I'm fucking having a little coffee with the lads. We're sitting down and I'm fucking rolling the camera, innit? It's like 6 o'clock, 6:30 or something. Yeah. I've been at work since before 9.
Guys.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway. So let's do the new games. There's quite a few.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Quite a few.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
So new games coming out this week. On the 18th of February, we've got Bayonetta and Vanquish 10th anniversary edition bundle.
Yeah.
Package group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Collection. I think that's the official marketing term that we are using for this.
I like it. That's on
for the modern age.
PS4. Imagine that was ports for the modern age.
Yeah.
That's on PS4 and Xbox. So, Liam, do you want to explain what those games are quickly?
Yeah, so both are Platinum games. And if you don't know Platinum, very good developer, make a lot of action-based games. Bayonetta, many people argue, is one of the finest Devil May Cry type games to come out since Devil May Cry 3 came out on the PS2. A lot of people love it. And this is just a nice 4K port for the PS4 Xbox One. And Vanquish is, again, by Platinum Games. And it's a third-person shooter. Actually, one of my favourite games of last gen. Came out on PS3 360 originally. And it's one of the most insane third-person shooters you can play. Lots of shouting. Lots of really weird American patriotic jokes, but
very busy gameplay. It feels
very busy. Missiles everywhere, explosions, gunfire. You have a suit with a turbo knee slide because of course you do.
Yeah.
Slow motion.
That's how I get to work in the morning, mate.
Slow motion, bullet time, lots of explosions.
Yeah.
American patriotism, but done through the lens of the Japanese man.
Yeah.
Because of course. Russian villain, because, of course
well, they are the bad guys, naturally.
Lots of robots, lots of mechs, explosions, very fun, gruff voice actors, smoking cigars in the voiceover booth, I imagine. Great game.
It's like 1980, isn't it? Russia bad, America good. Mech, cigar smoking.
I would recommend Vanquish quite a lot. It's very fun game.
Okay.
Same with Bayonetta. Bayonetta 2 is better, and I will die on that hill. Bayonetta 2 is better than Bayonetta 1.
I've played Bayonetta for the first time ever this week.
Yeah, it?
With this.
Like it?
Yeah, it's good.
Also,
more on that later, because it's under embargo, but is it? Because it's just
this game has been out. That's been released about 5 times.
I'm not talking about the performance. I'm just saying.
Bayonetta came out 2009.
Yeah, I'm just saying Bayonetta as a game.
Vanquish.
I quite like it.
Yeah, come up with
I quite like it. Nothing to do with this
Blacklist
specific part of it. Yeah, I can't blacklist myself, though, can I? So I'm supposed to be. But hey, it's I didn't know what it was. I was put off by the idea of Bayonetta because it's just I don't know. I thought it was an anime game.
It's
Sexy witches.
Sexy witch game, yeah.
It's not hugely appealing to me either for some reason.
It's a good game.
I totally buy that, and I totally...
It's very self-aware of what it is as well. It knows it's being silly erotic, I guess.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's that. I don't know, but there's something about it that I'm just
It's like 2B in Nier Automata. You could easily put it down to why does she need to be wearing a skirt like that? Some people are well into that. Some people are it puts them off. But then if you let that get in the way of what I assume is a great game, Nier Automata, I haven't even played
there was enough of the other stuff in that got me into it. Do you know what I mean? And once I was into it, I wasn't thinking about it. Right. What else we got? Hunt Showdown is coming on PS4. Did we play this?
We were invited to the alpha a couple of years ago.
I remember playing the beta version, I think.
Yeah.
So it's a game about shooting and surviving, yeah?
So it's a team-based game. So you get put into a match. You can either do solo or I think it's teams of 2.
Yeah.
And I think it's 3 teams of 2. And it's PvP and PvE. So there's you get an objective and you have to hunt down a monster.
Yeah. So shoot that.
Yeah, and there's mobs and stuff in the world.
Survive them.
You have to gather clues to find this monster.
Yeah.
At the same time, players who are also hunting the monster can come after you if they see you.
But everyone's after the same monster, so it's
so whoever
the snitch.
You could kill the monster, but then a player could behind you around the corner and shoot you and take your prize.
Remember,
you have to get to an extraction point at the end of the match.
That happened to you when we played it. Sometime. I can't remember anything else.
I think we played it on a quiet day at the Pretty Good Gaming offices, and we both had it installed on the computers. So we were rotating in and out, and I think on our game we did well. And then, during the extraction, some little fanny was the whole game just sitting in a bush waiting for the extraction point,
sniping,
and then sniping,
and yet they won. So
Yeah.
Bit of a life
but at
lesson.
what cost?
Yeah.
It was one of the most tense game experiences I've had in a while when I played it.
Yeah.
So I was playing with a random guy,
Yeah.
and like we were in the extraction zone, but you have to wait like a minute for it to open or whatever. And then all the other players decided they were going to come after, and we killed the monster.
Yeah.
So all the other players came after us, but we managed to fend them off.
It's
cool.
That was really early on in the game's development, like 2 or 3 years ago. So the fact
I don't know
it's
how
out,
it is now.
I'm assuming it's out. I'm assuming it's out. I fancy that. I do fancy that. It was a good game.
It's a cool game,
Yeah, maybe we should have a look. And the same day, the last game on the list for the 18th of February is Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, which is out on Xbox One.
Yeah.
What's even more... I was recently given Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 Complete Collection and Kingdom Hearts 3, right?
Yeah.
And now there's this. Like, I got that like a week ago,
Yeah.
and now there's something else.
This came out 2 years ago on PS4. 3 years ago, actually.
Well, so if I've got the collection, does that mean I've got this or not?
No, maybe? I don't know.
That says it all.
Right, Liam
That says it.
doesn't
Yeah,
know.
Liam doesn't know.
What this one is it was because it was fresh off the news that Kingdom Hearts 3 had been delayed a bit till 2019.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they went, we'll release Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue to keep them happy.
It includes a prologue chapter to Kingdom Hearts 3, and it was basically a glorified tech demo.
Okay.
Quite fun for a tech demo. But it also included a HD remaster of Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance.
Oh yeah,
which was the 3DS Kingdom Hearts game.
Yes.
So okay,
remember,
so
yeah.
it's a little bit of so let me help me process this now, Liam. Right,
Okay.
so it's as if right they went, we'll put Metal Gear Solid 4 and Metal Gear Solid 5
Ground Zeroes
in the same game.
A bit, yeah.
Right.
That's actually quite good.
Nice,
Yeah.
Okay.
nice,
Okay.
nice.
So that was like...
Now
yeah.
I finally understand what Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue
It's
is.
also got the cutscenes from one of the mobile games, but remastered and cut together like a movie.
Okay, which again a very Kojima thing, isn't it?
Which
I think
they
you're
did
onto
for
something there.
the 1.5 and 2.5 collections.
So that's
as well.
so that's the thing I've got recently, and I've not played the Kingdom Hearts since the first one.
Yeah.
To be fair, you don't really need to play
So you bought the
2.8 to understand Kingdom Hearts 3.
Apparently, you can't understand Kingdom Hearts 3 anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
The world is a mess.
it takes a lot of brain moon logic and stuff.
I'm gonna try my hand at them because I haven't played it since the first one.
Yeah.
I remember like making some sort of like ship for
The gummy
ages.
ship.
Yeah, I spent ages on that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think I
Spent
kind of
hours
forgot
on
what
it.
the rest of the game was about, and I never picked it up since.
Yeah.
So
Quite a nice endeavour,
Comes
though,
back
isn't
in
it?
Kingdom
Make a
Hearts
ship.
3, that.
yeah,
quite cool.
yeah, and I'm gonna jump back into that then. Hopefully, after like
Which one?
The 1.5 and 2.5 collection.
Okay.
So, right. You start at what? You start at Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah.
Then 1.5 is actually Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories remastered.
Well, hang on. If I don't have Kingdom Hearts 1, I've only got like 1.5 and 2.5.
No, that Kingdom Hearts 1 is in 1.5.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So 1.5
Yeah.
is 3 two games and a series of cutscenes chopped together like a movie.
Yeah.
Right.
2.5 is 2 games and cutscenes chopped together like a movie. Same with 2.8, and then 3 is its own standalone
Again,
thing.
like Metal Gear substance in this, you know.
Kind of,
You're
yeah,
really onto it.
All
Well,
right.
on that
Can we
exhaustive-
talk about something else?
Yes.
All right. So moving on to February the 20th, which that would be the Thursday. Is it
I think so.
February the 20th? Probably not. Maybe, I don't know. February the
think it
20th. Anyway, the date is correct. You don't need to know the day. Then, do you?
I think it's Monday, isn't it?
No.
No, today's the 16th, so Tuesday
God,
is the
yeah.
18th.
Oh, it is a Thursday. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is
So
a
it will be
Thursday. It
Thursday.
100% is a Thursday. Yeah.
Thank God we cleared that up.
Yeah.
We've got on the Thursday, February the 20th, is Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition on Nintendo Switch. So they've already put 1 and 2 on there, haven't they?
Yeah, so they brought out the HD collection
Yeah.
on PS4 and Xbox One, which is 1, 2, and 3 together.
Yep.
For some reason on the Switch, they decided to sell them all separately as like 30 quid releases.
This is what I was saying with Banner Saga. Well, Banner Saga wasn't 30 quid, but they were just... Instead of just putting the Banner Saga fucking trilogy or the collection, you could just get 1,
Buy
2,
them
and 3,
individually.
but with a bit of a discount if you bought them all or something. I don't know.
Same deal with this. If you own 1 and 2 on the Switch, you get a discount.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, they are actually putting new content into this one for the
Oh, right.
Switch. So they're putting the style switcher in it, which in the original Devil May Cry, you had to pause the game to change like your loadout. Yeah. Now they're adding it on the fly, which is quite a popular PC mod.
And that's good as well, because as soon as you say they're adding exclusive content for the Nintendo Switch, it makes me think, oh, okay, they're putting a fucking hero shield, and you can dress up as Link.
What amiibo can I put in it?
Probably dress Dante up as Link.
Yeah, exactly. That's the bottom line.
I think it's got some like added characters that weren't in the base game as well, and there's someone else, but I can't remember. Cool. I just know they're adding more content to it.
There's 2 or 3 others I'm just going to mention really quickly because they just got great names. On the same day, 20th, Double Dragon and Kunio-kun Retro Brawler Bundle is out on the Switch and PS4.
Do you want me to tell you about this?
Yeah, well, quickly. Go on, let's go.
Double Dragon, I think everyone remembers that, don't they? The arcade game, beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Kunio-kun is what the Japanese name of River City Ransom is. That was another beat 'em up. Connected to what I played recently, River City Girls.
Nice.
So, which is the most modern installment in the River City Ransom franchise.
That's yet more shining.
I might play this.
Very good.
Because it's a collection of all of them put together on Switch.
On a Switch as well. Yeah, it's quite
Switch
appealing.
and PS4, and people who've like imported the Japanese one say it's actually a very good collection.
Same day, Katana Kami: A Way of the Samurai Story is out on PC, Switch, and PS4 as well.
Don't know what this is.
Jake?
I've got nothing.
And Persona 5 Scramble, which is out on Switch, PS4.
Japan only.
Hack and slash.
Japan,
Right, that's it.
Persona by way of Dynasty Warriors is what that one is.
Scramble. That's a good word for it.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Fits with the whole Persona 5 theme.
Yeah, Scramble, yeah,
that's
I might get it when it comes to the West.
Yeah, I don't mind a nice sort of Dynasty Warriors
it's very
clone.
long, though.
Is it?
Yeah, reviews
Persona
in Japan.
game, very long.
Reviews in Japan have said it's like 50 hours long, which
of Warriors.
Of Dynasty Warriors types.
Fuck.
It's also got all the usual Persona stuff in, like, taking your mates out for
that's
coffee in
quite cool.
Tokyo, and all that.
As in terms of gameplay, that's in there as gameplay, or you?
Yeah, so it's got the usual Persona stuff where you're talking to your friends, hanging out with them, going on dates and shit.
And then there's just big battles.
And then
cool.
Instead of
Green
going
Street.
Yeah.
Instead of going to the Persona style dungeons, you go into dungeons with a bit of, Dynasty Warriors combat instead of turn-based.
I love that can probably genuinely be compared to fucking Green Street. That's, Persona. What connects Persona and Green Street?
You show those football hooligans Persona, they'll love it.
Yeah. So there we go. That's another podcast. That's episode 69, erotic as promised. If you want to send us an email, it's dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. If you're a patron, we're about to record a bonus podcast in which we're going to talk about... I haven't got that much to talk about, but I've been catching up on a bit of Brooklyn Nine-Nine and stuff, but nothing... I haven't watched the film in a while. Watched the film in over a week.
I've been in the cinema.
The Oscars happened.
Not in the week before.
The Oscars happened. So Liam's been in cinema. I watched a bit of Brooklyn Nine-Nine and the Oscars happened. Look forward to that, you lucky patrons. That'll be out later in the week for you. We'll see you soon. Cheers.